You literally have to tell them how you feel. Okay? Um no matter what, tell them how you feel. Okay? And what I mean by that is no matter who it is, if it's a person you like a crush, guy or girl, if it's a family member, like a mom, dad, sister, brother, maybe a friend, maybe a relative, whatever. Tell them how you feel. You have to be honest. So, right, those times like when you want to thank someone, you want to say, "Hey, thank you for this," or "You're grateful for that," "You're grateful for them." You want to tell you crush your feelings. You want to tell that person at school that's annoying you, like, "Hey, can you not do that anymore?" Or maybe your close friend that keeps doing this annoying thing, like you want to say something like, "Hey, can you not do that to me? I don't really appreciate it," stuff like that. And then you never do. So the trick is, even if it sounds cringy, even if it's like scary, you have to tell them what your heart is saying. So, for example, if you have someone that's like kind of a friend, and you like them, you want to be more than friends, you have to let them know. Okay. And you might be thinking, what if they don't, think the same way? This is the most important part right here of the whole video. This is what I'm about to say. If you're thinking about, oh, I don't want to tell them because what if they feel differently? What if they make fun of me for what I just said? What if they don't like what I just said? What if they don't care? Whatever. Tell them how you feel, because that is being the true you. That is what you want to say. And if they don't like it, there's your answer. They don't like you for who you are, and you can't change that. And if they don't like you for speaking your truth and what you have to say, who's gonna say that they're gonna like you who you are if you're dating? Who's gonna say they were gonna like you who you are down the road? You know. So even though it's gonna sound like cringy, even though like the hardest part about it is like thinking that they're gonna think differently, or they're not gonna like what you just did. Like, wait, why'd you just do that? Like we're close friends. Why are you telling me this stuff? This is kind of weird. If they don't like it, they don't like it. If they don't like you for speaking your truth, there's the answer. Like I've always said, because then they don't like you for being you, and it's sad and it's hard. But you have to let them know, okay? Because what if one day you want to tell your close friend, like, thank you for being my friend all these years, or whatever, and then what if, I don't know, they get hurt, or they die, they get hurt in a car crash, or they get hurt somewhere else, wherever, or if they die? Like, I'm not trying to make this sad. What if they do die? Then you will never get to tell them again. I saw a video today where it's like what if like you have to think like any interaction you have with somebody, like kind of pretend that it will be your last interaction. Like don't get emotional and sad and you start crying them and hug them for 20 minutes. No, just be honest with them. Like if it's someone you have a crush on, and you had maybe you had to do like a class lab with them today for science class. You can say, hey, I really appreciate you being my partner for this. You're smart, and I really like doing this stuff with you because you know how to do it, and I thank you for that. You know, and then like whatever. If they don't, if that partner didn't like thought like, oh, you're weird. I don't want to talk to you. Or, oh, what? I don't think the same way. Or whatever. Hey, you spoke your truth, and they spoke theirs. Okay, because this is the second most important part is if you speak your truth, and they then it kind of forces them to speak their truth, right? So like if you confess to a crush, if you tell you know your close, if you tell a friend, hey, can you stop doing this to me? I don't appreciate it, and they say, oh, I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't care what you think. I don't really care about you. I care about me. I'm gonna do it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Then that's kind of the person they are, and they're not willing to make the sacrifice. Okay, then they don't have to be your friend anymore. So it kind of reveals their truth as well, is if you speak your truth. So no matter what the situation is, just let them know how you feel. Okay, never hold back. Never wait months. Because what if the sad part of it is like, what if like you have a crush and for a few months you hold her off of talking to her, telling her how you feel, and eventually she comes out with a boyfriend. And you might think, oh, I'm so much better than that guy. I'm stronger than him. I'm taller than him. I'm more handsome. I'm smarter. Whatever. He had the strength to confess his feelings for her, and she felt the same way. Maybe she was, like that about how the guy was honest to her, and she liked that. So tell that. So let her know how you feel, because she's gonna come out with a guy, and then you're gonna be like, who's this guy? Why not me? I tell you why it wasn't you, because you weren't honest. And if you are honest to her and you are tell her your feelings, and she says no, there's your answer. There's your answer. There's the truth. She doesn't like you for who you are, and you don't have to be liked by everyone. There are going to be people in life that aren't going to like you. So when she doesn't, when she says, oh, I didn't like how you said that, or why did you say that? Why are you getting all close now? Why are you getting all personal? They don't. That's your answer. They don't like you for being you. So you can cut them off life, and then eventually, you might be like, okay, you're a close friend. I'm so grateful for you being my friend all these years. And instead of them being weirded out by it, they might be like, man, I appreciate you being my brother for a few years as well, and I can't wait, or not, I can't wait, but they might be like, oh, I'm glad we've been hanging out together, and I'm glad I met you, I'm glad we get to do stupid stuff together, because what if after that day, he died? Your best friend's gonna die. Like, I'm just trying to make up fake scenarios and be sad. This is true. Out there all the time. People talk to close ones for the last time. And then if they do die, at least you know that they know that you appreciate them as much as you could. They know that you love them as much as you could because you express yourself. Okay, next time you're saying goodbye to your mom because you're going off to work or school, or saying goodbye for your dad because he's going off to work or something. Hey Dad, I really love you, and I thank you so much for working so that, I can be able to purchase the stuff that I can purchase and all this stuff, and I really appreciate it. Hug him, and then your father's gonna love you back. So, but the main message of this video is, no matter what the situation is, no matter who it is, even if it's something as simple as be yourself, like even something simple like, hey, can you pass me the salt? It's speaking your truth. You want the salt. Salt's right there. Speak your truth, okay? So tell them how you feel. And that doesn't always have to mean, attractively, whenever I say that, it doesn't always have to mean love, with a crush, with someone you like. No. It can be with a friend, family, relative, someone that you don't like, someone that is annoying you, someone that keeps doing something that you don't like, There's every situation. Stop asking the teacher a question. Let them know how you feel. Speak your truth, okay? Because if they don't like it, they don't like you, and there is your answer.